Jacob Gospel Podcast. Jacob and Brandy Gospel here. And today we're talking about 2021.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year's. So, we just talked about a couple weeks ago how crazy 2020 was. And regardless of what you think about 2020, moving into 2021 is a totally different thing. So a couple weeks ago, I was asked to be on a speaking panel with the company that I work for. And one of the things that was asked to me was, how do I acknowledge and what was the question? How do I acknowledge and
your weaknesses?
Yeah, my weak spots.
Your weak spots.
Like, how do I acknowledge my weak spots? And there was something else that, like, how do I fix them or whatever? But one of the things that I noticed that just quickly came to me was, how do I acknowledge my weak spots? Was really, I have to be aware of them first. So if I'm not aware of my weak spots, then I can't even acknowledge them. Like, I don't even know that they're there. So you gotta ask people. Like, I spend a lot of time in prayer. And then I go, what's the matter? You thinking about all my damn weak spots?
Maybe.
I don't have weak spots. What the hell? So when I think about being in prayer and think about where I need to improve and think about asking people for help, those are things where I actually reach out to people to check me, right? So I'll get those back, and then I can acknowledge them. So that's when you think about your improvement for next year and the plan you have for next year, you got to be aware of, one, where you want to go, two, the places you need to improve, and just the plan that you need to make. So right. So then you got to implement those things. So, I say all that to say this. One of the most important things in the talk that I gave was, it's not that you need to improve on your weak spots, because that's not really what you need to improve on. It's your strengths. And you need to focus on your strengths and where you want to go. And when you start improving your strengths and focusing on that and getting better at what you're already good at, you're going to notice every area of your life get better. You're going to notice all the weak spots that you have. You're going to even be better at them, because not all weak spots need to be addressed. Some of them need to just be pushed aside. Heidi produces these videos for us. You know why? Because I'm shitty at doing them. I'd be terrible at it. It'd be terrible. Because guess what? I'm almost 40 years old, and none of these videos has ever been done before because I didn't know Heidi. Because I suck at it, and there's no need for me to get better at it. So I use this example in the talk. So one of the things that I use, it's like the human body. You have to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. So like my foot, I put shoes on my feet every single day. My foot does a terrible job of thinking. Did you know that? My foot is terrible at thinking. So what good would it be for me to try to get my foot to improve on thinking? Because my brain's pretty good at it most of the time.
Yeah.
My brain's pretty good at it. So I would more want to focus on my brain getting better at thinking than my foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I use my foot for something else. And that's how you have to look at your strengths and your weak spots. I'm not going to say weaknesses. It's just, that's how you're built. That's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
You have to find someone else to fill that void, just like we got Heidi to do these videos, because it would make zero sense for us to try to do it when we need to be focusing on being so damn good looking in front of the camera, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, moving forward in 2020, you got to have a plan. You got to, like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? What did you learn from this past year that you're either going to continue or change so you can have this next year be the greatest year of your life? What's your thoughts?
I think when you look at the year coming up, you don't, people talk about a New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose 15 pounds. I'm going to save $5,000. I'm going to, whatever it is. And I think those goals are great, but there's a different way that you can go about it. And if you have the plan in place, then the goals will take care of themselves. So instead of saying, I'm going to lose 15 pounds, maybe the resolution could be, I'm going to walk 30 minutes every day, or I'm going to read 30 minutes every day, or try to put an action into place, and then the goals will just fall into place after that.
Yeah, right. Because you got to love the process. You got to love the process. It's not about losing the 15 pounds. It's about loving going to walk every day.
Yeah.
It's about loving doing your diet. You were listening to a podcast the other day. I don't remember what it was, but it was talking about, instead of taking, we focus so much time, like clock time, on exercising and doing things.
Yeah.
But what they were talking about in the podcast was actually taking time, instead of using an hour to go walk or using 3 hours and go do fitness stuff on Sundays, take those 2 or 3 hours and cook in the kitchen and prep your food, because that's actually going to be much more important than going walking and doing those things. That time will get expanded into your diet, where the improvement's going to be way better.
Yeah.
So when working those plans, like what you meant, is not falling in love with the plan, it's falling in love with the process. Because I see a lot of people do, I don't want you to mistake this, where my plan is to do this and I'm not getting the result I want. No, the goal that you want, and it's not to lose 15 pounds, it's to be healthy.
Yes, it should be.
Or whatever that goal is, you may need to adjust that plan, where you're going to walk every day, but you're not hitting the goal. So I need to adjust that walking, but you're still loving the process. So instead of walking for 15 minutes, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes. Now I'm reaching my goal. Yeah. Now it's adjusting to my goal. Yeah. Maybe I need to cut carbs, whatever it is. But I think listening to you say that, what comes to mind for me is, it's not really what I want in 2020. It's who do you want to be in 2020? 2021. Yeah, sorry. Getting caught up. 2020 was so awesome. I was like, man, I feel like I'm still in it.
You don't want to leave it.
I don't want to leave it. So it's not what you want next year. It's who do you want to be next year, to be able to do the things and get the things that you want.
Yes.
Because I can't achieve or get or whatever I want by the end of next year. I have to grow into that person that can get and achieve and do what I want next year. Mm-hmm. Because right now, who I am right now is what I got right now. So I want to be better and I want to grow. And that's part of the process. It's part of the being uncomfortable. It's part of the change. So, but if you don't have a plan in place, your 2021 is going to be just like your 2020. Exactly. Someone else is going to make those plans for you if you don't make the plan.
Right.
We had a plan for 2020 and it got changed. It did, just like yours. It's okay. But what we did is we adjusted it again. It was like, you know what? I'm not going to let our governor or president or whoever make those plans for us, even though, they did certain things. Now, we can't just be like, oh, well, we can't meet our goal.
Yeah.
No, we had to adjust our plans, and now we're able to move forward. So same thing with 2021. You can't blame it on your government or whatever. Man, we got 3 kids. 2014, God bless you, Heidi. So, right, just like that. We didn't plan on a sneeze in the middle of it, but what we did, we adjusted, and here we are. We got 3 kids. We adjust every day.
It's hard to plan with 3 kids because you can't control everything. You can't control even, just the weather. If your plan is to go outside and run every day, well, the weather may be bad. Okay, so you just adjust. If you have an illness or an injury, you may have to take some time off. You just adjust. It's not the end of the story. You just have to rearrange. You just have to.
Exactly. And again, that's where, surrounding yourself with the right people make the world a difference. Because if we would surround ourselves with a bunch of negative thinking people or, excuse minded people or crutch minded people, then when the first obstacle comes up, we wouldn't make a change. We'd be like, yep, this is it. Our year's ruined, or this vacation's ruined, or fill in the blank. But no, we surround ourselves with people who understand that plans change and the goal doesn't change. It's just how you're going to reach it changes. But that's part of the plan. It's not a contingency plan. It's an adjustment. It's a rudder. It's a redirect.
It's a GPS recalculation.
Exactly. The GPS recalculation. You need it. It has to happen. So first off, you need to spend some time in prayer and be like, man, who do I want to be next year? What do I want my next year to look like? By December of 2021, you want to look back and what do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to be? So when you think about the plan is I want to accomplish all these things. Okay. But that's just the first part of the plan. And then you need to ask yourself the most important question is, okay, now how do I become the person to accomplish those things? And that's a little bit harder part of that. So again, if you got questions on that, make sure that you go jacobgospel.com and send us an email and ask us those questions. We can work with you on that. And when you can answer that question and get clarity on that, man, your next year is going to be totally different. And you're going to feel good about it because you're going to still be you and be able to grow in those things. And you're not going to have the excuses that who you are today makes, because even us, we make excuses. That's why when we grow out of that, we accomplish things and then we don't have the excuse anymore. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you are aware of that. You got to be aware of that. You got to be aware of where you need to grow and where you need to set aside. And those things are hard. And that's what we do. We help people do that. So like I said, if you got any questions on it, don't try to wing it. Reach out to us, reach out to anybody that has been there before you, and they can do that. I'm pretty cut and dry with it, being a person like I am, and I guess, the alpha that I am, I want to make sure that next year I dominate that year. And so what I'm doing now is reaching out to people and making a plan with those people to help hold me accountable. My friends that have been there, and also friends that I'm hanging on to and dragging along the way or helping along the way. How that guy said it, it's not, we don't give anyone a hand out, we give them a hand up.
Yes.
And that makes a big difference. So many people has given us a hand up, and we want to do that for you guys too. So make sure that you do that. But yeah, 2021 is going to be even a better year than 2020, no matter what happens, because opportunities everywhere. It's never been more opportunity than now. I mean, look at the way things change going from in-person to online. Now you have both, so much more from this past year. So looking into next year, who knows what's going to happen? So instead of focusing on the things, oh my God, I hope this don't happen. Again, don't worry about it, but concern yourself with, man, what can I do? Let me see the opportunity. Just let me see it, because if I could see it, I'm going to get it. And it may not be in the places that you think it's in.
Usually isn't.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add? Mm-hmm. Well, we wish everybody a happy new year. Y'all stay safe. Have a good time. Love on your family. And we're going to see y'all next year.